What's going on, people? Let me adjust this thing. Every time I hit record, this thing always zooms in a little bit. I gotta reaccount for it. All right, so yeah, I had to re-record this joint because I obviously, well, of course not obviously, but forgot to delete some videos. I had like literally 5 minutes of talking points, and I didn't want to limit myself to 5 minutes because I had a lot to say, and I didn't know how long it would take. So before we begin, if you could hit the subscribe and like button, that'd be great. You know, let me know what you think in the comment section. So I've been researching this whole Area 51 situation. And what I found, some facts, some fiction, things I've been seeing people say, things I've heard, things I've learned that are different from what people say, and common misconceptions. So I'll be addressing some of those this time around. If you guys have any other good ones, put those in the comments to notify people, because, you know, people should see videos like this before they go and before they just go head in and shit. So first off, the first thing I had noticed was the location was set. The location is not set exactly at Area 51. It is near it, but it's on the other side of it. So they would have to go all the way around the roads or what have you to get to the front entrance or whatever. So for that to happen, you know, there would have to be, you know, a giant group or groups. But here's the thing: they've also, with that location being set, I think that's gonna split people up into waves, because you're not gonna have everybody meeting there at once, ready to go. You're gonna have people that are sitting there eating because the place Alien is where they're supposed to be meeting at in that area. But that place Alien, they're supposed to be throwing like a food festival or something like that. So people are gonna come over there and eat and have fun and have a good time. And you got people that are gonna do the what is it? It's like a music festival or something like that. You got people performing and stuff like that. And, you know, some people are just gonna chill for real. I don't think everybody's going to just raid Area 51. I think a lot of people will, but I don't think everybody's gonna do that shit. But I will say this though: even if 10,000 people showed up, like, that's still a lot of heads, man. A lot of heads. That's a solid amount of people. So next thing I had noticed somebody say, they were saying, oh, those people be shot dead if they go into Area 51, but they won't. Let's be real here. They're not gonna kill that many people. That shit would be absolutely detrimental to the government. It would look horrible to the government. It would just be an all-around disaster, and I think that would probably trigger a civil war. You know, and the government doesn't want that. The government doesn't want to fight their own people. They would rather have you pacified and thinking everything's okay while robbing you while you don't think anything's a problem. Or you know something's a problem, but there's nothing to trigger you to act on it. So they would rather it be that kind of situation because it's easier. You know, they're hilariously outnumbered when it comes to people, and, you know, a massacre there would be worldwide, and America doesn't want them kind of problems, to be honest. I really don't believe they do. So yeah, I would rather believe that they wouldn't. Now, of course, anything can happen, but I really don't see them flying an AC-130 and massacring 10,000 Americans. That shit would just be absolutely chaotic. And then I forgot what that lady's name was, but she's supposed to be like the head director of Area 51, and she says that they'll stand ready to protect America and its assets. But it sounds like she was talking like those people aren't part of America, which was kind of weird. And this is the mind frame that these people have. You know, the people who don't coincide or agree with the system and just lay down and take the dick, those people aren't part of America, from the inference that I got from her. They're not really Americans. They're just people who are just like cars in trouble. But like, at the end of the day, we paid for everything in Area 51, which is another thing. People are saying y'all are stupid for doing this shit. Like, yo, we paid for everything inside that building, and we're being told we can't see where our investments went. How do we know that you guys are actually developing anything worthwhile that we're paying for? Like, yo, we want to see this shit. We can't even do a tour of this bitch, for real. So that's bullshit to me, man. And people are fucking bootlickers, man. You can legitimately have people saying, yeah, y'all gonna get killed and I can't wait to see it. Like, y'all some fuckheads, man. Y'all really just willing to lay down and let the government just take your fucking money and not even question what the fuck's going on. They the kind of people the government wants. They want those motherfuckers, because those people are stupid. They don't think outside the box. Those are the people the government wants. They want those people to basically be, you know, pacified and just back the government and trust the government to have everything, all of its best interests at heart. And history has shown that's just not the case, man. Unfortunately, the government we have is not exactly a flawless innocent government, man. But no government is, I guess. But you got levels of corruption too. So I'm a firm believer in that. So they moved the signs out a while ago with people getting mass murdered, with people getting shot lethally. Those signs have been taken out a long time ago. There was another thing I had noticed, there was a guy that was killed. They said it was at Area 51, but it was not at Area 51. It was actually pretty far away from Area 51. But the guy got shot by local law enforcement, I believe it was, because he was being, I didn't read the details of that specifically. You can look into it yourself. But he wasn't killed trying to get in Area 51. So that's false. Another thing that's false is they're saying the military is literally inside of Area 51 guarding it. But that's also not true. Those people are private military contractors, which they still will fucking shoot you, I guess. If the situation calls for it, of course. They will shoot you, I guess. But I don't think, again, they don't, from what I've seen the scattered white pickup trucks around the area with two heads in it. I haven't seen like a whole entire busload of these dudes. I've seen buses driving back and forth, but these are people who work on base. So, yeah, those guys, from what I've seen, they're equipped with, looks like they're equipped with Glocks or handguns, might be Mark 23s or something like that, but I haven't seen them with assault rifles or anything. But I'm pretty sure they got all kinds of shit in there, so. But again, this all falls back on the principle they're not going to murder all those people. So that's another thing. The military isn't actively guarding it. It's actually private military contractors, which those guys are basically like assassins for hire, mercs. So they'll do whatever the fuck they're paid to do. So there you have it with that. What's another thing I had read about? They were saying that to get the U.S. military involved, Congress would have to pass a bill for that shit. And we all know how slow Congress moves, but I think that might be. I honestly don't. I'm torn. I don't know. I'm torn on this one. They may or may not. But if they did get the military involved, I think that'd be the fastest we ever saw Congress act, which would prove they're a bunch of lazy shitheads who drag their feet because they fucking can. And then when the situation calls for them not to be able to drag their feet anymore, they don't. So that's a great point. I've actually read about. Congress would have to pass a bill to actively use the military in that situation. And they also say there's aliens inside Area 51. Not completely sure about that. Nobody really is. But the guy, Bob Lazar, everybody's talking about from the Netflix and the Joe Rogan interview, the guy was basically saying he worked at S4, and S4 is actually not exactly Area 51 itself. It's near it. But that base was the one he worked at that had all the alien technology. But like I said, man, I firmly believe there's a specific reason they're guarding Area 51. Whatever's in there, they're guarding some cool shit, I'd be willing to bet. Now, as far as technology and stuff goes, I mean, I think it's a given that technology in there is beyond anything we use on a day-to-day basis. But I mean, that's one of those things that we get the trickle down. We got touchscreen cell phones now. They probably had touchscreen cell phones in the 50s or 60s. And, stuff like that trickles down for the public to use, but it trickles down way too goddamn slow. We're trying to usher ourselves into a new era, and these guys are holding us the fuck back. You got other countries that are so further ahead with technology. Ours is lagging behind very hard. I think that's complete bullshit, and I think the government should be held responsible for it. They're hoarding a lot of technology. I'm 100% sure they are. Hoarding a whole lot of technology. I've looked online and seen some of these military bots and stuff they use that people don't know about, but you can actually research some of this shit. The technology they have right now, they're using robots, they're using exoskeleton robot suits. I mean, this is all technology they've had for years. They're finally putting out. I mean, I've seen, I'm sure everybody's seen it by now, actually. The robotic dog that walks and can carry, I think, what is it, 80 pounds of equipment or something like that, and the military couldn't use it because it was too loud. I actually have a friend that worked in weapons, and he was actually he had clearance to talk about that because the government scrapped the project. He's only allowed to talk about certain shit that, he's allowed to talk about pretty much. And he was saying, yeah, that actually was fact. They looked into using it, but they couldn't use it because it was too loud and it was giving away the soldiers' positions. So they basically scrapped the idea of using it. So now they're trying to develop the dog into like something that'll help you move or carry items up and down stairs or carry heavy bags long distances. And, technology that you try to kick the little dog over and it just basically recenters itself. It looks like a robotic dog, really. It looks like Mega Man shit. So yeah, that's something else, man. So I mean, there's a lot of technology the government has they're not putting out because for whatever reason, actually. So what else? I think that was oh, there actually was a guy who snuck in. I don't remember the guy's name because I'm horrible with names, but there was an old guy that managed to get inside Area 51 and escape completely undetected. He did a 7-day hike, and he went all around the there was a like dried up lake. He went around. He tried to get authorization from the government to go inside the lake. They kept denying him clearance. You're never going to be able to go into Area 51. They basically told him, so forget about it. So the guy said, fuck y'all then. So he basically just went in the motherfucker, snuck in the bitch, and he was just looking around for different evidence of a flight, some kind of flight he was talking about, he was looking for. Don't remember. But yeah, so he ended up finding like a really old, odd looking village that was heavily guarded. It was guarded more than the edge of Area 51 was. I mean, it was guarded very, very heavily. And he said it was literally probably about 30 patrol cars circling, like literally circling. There's no way you're getting into there without being detected. So he saw that, and then he took a picture of himself at the lake, which proves he was there. He did a hike around different areas. He saw some buildings, giant hangars opening and closing, and people walking in and out. Basically, that's pretty much it for that. And he also saw a giant building with one window. And he said he kept seeing a glowing amber light illuminating, and then like you know, just going dark and illuminating and going dark, kind of like an on-off type deal. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I've learned, man. But there's some other things I'm pretty sure I missed. But what do you guys think about this whole entire scenario? Let me know in the comment section, man. I gotta get moving though. So you guys have a nice day. Take it easy. Peace out.